Should we clap?
All right, welcome everybody to the Fantasy Football Burrito. I am your host, as always, Dirt Shingleberry. We have a very special episode for you today. I'm joined by one of my good friends, somebody who is the biggest risk taker in fantasy football, but yet he gets it right, and I love his opinion and everything that he has to bring to the fantasy football spectrum. Joining me is Scott Zipperman. How you doing, Zip?
Hi. Oh, hi guys. I came in a little too hot there in the beginning. It's great to be here. Those are some kind words from you. I love you, man.
I love you too. All right. So we're just going to go over the way I typically lay out my shows. We're going to go over some news for the week. We're going to go ahead and get into today. We're going to be doing our top 12 wide receivers. So,
ooh, yes.
And then we have one fan question, and then that'll be it. All right. Do you just want to get in the news?
It is. Yes, I do.
All right. So starting today, it might have been today or yesterday. I'm kind of getting my days a little mixed up. Been off work for a few days here, but
real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's give a shout out to that one fan.
That one fan. Hey, we've had the 2 episodes I've taken fan questions. I've had a fan write in each time. So thank you. This question is going to be coming from Garrett from Portland. We will answer it at the end of the show after we give our top 12 wide receivers, and probably a little riff-raff talking to there because, like I said, we're friends. We haven't seen each other in a while because we've both been on kind of lockdown. So
I miss you, buddy.
I miss you too. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little off topic here, even though it is a fantasy football show.
Let's have fun.
Let's have fun. I hope the listeners have fun too.
Oh, yes. Most importantly, them, and then we can have second fun.
There you go. All right. So starting today, the New York office is opening up for the NFL, and returning to work is Commissioner Goodell. So hopefully we will get an NFL season despite COVID-19. And that way this podcast and all the other fantasy football podcasts you're listening to aren't for nothing.
That's true.
How do you feel about, getting the executives back to the building?
Well, it seems like it's good, right? It's a good thing.
It's a good sign.
Positive signs, and that's all we can ask for in these uncertain times. And boy, would we like to have football back.
Oh, man.
It would be a nice distraction.
It's been 100 days without any of the major sports, other than I believe soccer is playing right now.
And yeah.
I am losing my dang mind. I have put more time into MLB The Show than I have in any other video game just because I can't watch baseball.
Right. Yeah. So you have to play it. That's the new future, man.
Yep.
Virtual baseball.
But I woke up yesterday, and for some reason there was like this dim light on Twitter about the NFL season. People were NFL Draft Scout, who's somebody I follow and love listening to his podcast. He tweeted out, "Today's the only day I really feel I don't feel good about there being an NFL season." And I started just searching down my timeline, like why? I could not find a good answer, but a lot of people were just kind of like saying stuff like that. And I'm like, no, don't do this to me. We have to have football.
Right. Yeah. And those people thinking those things are going to will it into existence if they keep thinking it.
Hey, I'm a strong believer. You get in this world what you get out of this world what you put in it. So always positive thoughts here.
Amen. Create it.
So the other topic, we're just kind of moving along there because me and you aren't executives in the NFL, so we don't really have much to say on that.
Don't know any of them either. So yeah, good luck.
Just hopefully we don't have to see Goodell in his man cave much more.
I wish I had a man cave.
So we're going to move on to Hard Knocks. Do you watch Hard Knocks? Have you ever watched it?
Never watched it.
Oh,
but I've heard good things.
It's not bad. I say All or Nothing on Amazon Prime is way better, but Hard Knocks is a good little like end of the summer, goes right into the NFL season taste of football you need whenever you've gone 6 months or however long it is without it. This year they're going to be featuring the 2 teams, first time they've ever done this, the Los Angeles Chargers and the Los Angeles Rams.
Okay.
Personally, I'm very excited about this and I think it's more because of the coaches than the players, because you get a look into Sean McVay, just the genius mastermind behind any offense in the NFL. And then you also get Anthony Lynn, who I really respect as a coach, and I want to see more into what he does.
Yeah, he's got this mysterious approach to him. I don't know much about him, but he seems to be doing a solid job down there.
And he's one of the most well-respected coaches in the NFL. You can't find many bad things about him online. And then you also get a taste into, the rookie quarterback, Justin Herbert, and how he's going to go with Tyrod Taylor, which is going to be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
You get Austin Eckler taking over that lead role in I was about to say San Diego, in Los Angeles for the Chargers. And
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, Keenan Allen's one of the most outspoken people on Twitter and whatnot, so I'll be excited to see him too.
He is outspoken. What does he say?
he's always don't put me on the spot like that. He's not on Michael Thomas level, but he does talk a lot on Twitter.
I like a good tweeter.
Yeah, he's very outspoken on the fact that he's one of the best route runners in the NFL, which I believe. I love me some Keenan Allen.
Yeah, I didn't know he was on Twitter, so I got to update my list real quick.
Okay. And then on the Rams side, we get to see, if you guys are doing your drafts later, maybe you get to see a little insight into the Cam Akers being in the running back room there.
I'll be very excited for that.
You get to see Cooper Kupp, who he's from Eastern Washington University. I watched him go and tear up the Ducks years ago. I think he had like 20 receptions for 200 yards against the Ducks in Autzen. So I've always been a fan of him. And yeah, you get to see a lot. There's a lot there. Aaron Donald's going to be fun.
It's always great to get that inside look into something you love. See how it works. Yeah,
one thing I like about Hard Knocks is I always leave watching that show with, man, I really like that player. Man, I didn't really care for that one. Man, that coach is cool. Man, like whenever the Texans were on it a few years ago, Mike Vrabel was their defense coordinator or linebackers coach. I don't remember which one he was back then, but he was on that coaching staff, and I was like, damn, Mike Vrabel has the run of his locker room. I could imagine him being a head coach here soon, and here we are years later, and he's the Titans head coach, and he's a pretty good one.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job down there. You just predicted something there, man. You got a coach prediction skills.
Yeah, I'm not going to take credit for that, but I mean, hey, Mike, if you want to send me a little something, go ahead. So moving along from Hard Knocks, unless you want to touch on anything else, is there any other players you want to highlight that are going to be on either of those two teams?
Sean McVay, the Rams.
Yeah, we didn't touch much on the Rams.
Chargers. No, I'm excited for Eckler. I think he'll be pretty good. He was pretty good for that when he was leading last year, right?
Yeah, he did a great job last year.
And now he's the focal point.
Yep, him and Justin Jackson. But I saw a report that said they're going to have a short leash on Justin Jackson this year. So I don't know what that means exactly. Might be like there might be a running back 2A and 2B, and if he messes up, then he might be out of there.
Yeah, they seem to have soured on him recently.
Yep, but
he seemed promising in the beginning.
Yeah, he did. I remember he costed me a really close, I think, fantasy playoff matchup a few years ago. Whenever Gordon went down, he was like the back that was coming in to spell Eckler, and I was winning by I want to say 8 points, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got this. And then he ran in that 20 or 30 yard touchdown and cost me the game. I'm like, oh my gosh, of course he would.
See, that would have been amazing if that was your team, but it sucks so bad when it happens to you.
Oh yeah, and there's always those players with fantasy football. Everybody always says if you're talking about fantasy football and you're not talking about my league, I don't care. But I'm going to talk about my league for a second. There's always,
I disagree with that sentiment though. I love listening to stories of people's other leagues. It's so fascinating to me.
It is. See, but me and you love fantasy football, so there's people that are casual players, and they're just like, yeah, I don't want to hear you talk about this great team you drafted.
Well, that's just because they're starting out.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, 10 years from now, it's going to be your life.
Man, it's my life now.
It's one of my top 3 things that I do with my hands.
And if I'm not in a league right now, if the season's not going, I am sitting there looking at stats, I'm looking at videos, I'm reading stuff. That's basically all I use my Twitter for, is to look at fantasy football stuff.
Right. Yeah. I'd say about 75% of my internet use is fantasy football.
Yeah, but there's always those players whenever you talk about, you're just like, they costed me a game a couple years ago. I don't know. I don't like them. But
for sure.
But there's nothing against them. It's just, me not wanting to lose.
It's part of the game.
So moving on here, Jamal Adams, the all-pro safety from the Jets, requested a trade. He gave out his list of teams. On there included the Buccaneers, the Cowboys, the Seahawks, I think the Chiefs, which they can't afford him. And a few other teams. I guess I probably should have written down the list. But do you foresee Jamal Adams getting traded at all?
I have. I haven't been keeping up on this. I'm going to go off total gut instinct on what I think would be cool. But You said he was too expensive for the Kansas City Chiefs, right?
Yeah, because they paid Tyrann Mathieu all that money last year, and they're kind of
Oh.
struggling with their cap issue right now.
Any chance he could, say I'll take less money to be on the best team in the NFL?
Well, he's under his rookie contract right now, so if they get him now, I guess it wouldn't be that bad. But I don't. But whatever team trades for him, it's most likely going to be a sign and trade. They're going to the Jets will sign him and then trade his rights over, or the other way around. They'll trade him, and then so a deal really won't get done probably until he knows he gets a long-term deal. So I just, if he was willing just to take a trade as is, I'm sure that the Chiefs could afford him, but him wanting a long-term deal, I don't see that happening.
If I was Jamal Adams, I would just be like, trade me to the Chiefs for a year. I'll play on that good team, win a Super Bowl, and then I'll answer free agency.
If they get Jamal Adams and Tyrann Mathieu, that is
game over, man. Right?
It would be hard to pass on that team. It would be hard to run on that team because both those guys can come down and thump too.
And see, that's what's exciting to me. And so I'm picking he's going to the Kansas City Chiefs. You watch. Or you know what? It would be cool to see him on the Bucs too, my new favorite team.
Yes, your new favorite team. That's right. He's jumping on that bandwagon. He's calling it now in June.
Eagles won the Super Bowl a few years back, and I felt I've been lost. And I know, they won. The journey was over. It's time to try a new team.
There you go.
So, go Bucs.
My gut feeling says that he's staying. I just don't see them allowing that caliber of a player to go. And I think their new GM, Joe Douglas, will probably throw a contract offer at him sooner rather than later.
Do the Jets have a history of being stubborn with players? Why do I think that?
I think they do. They always seem to go chase after free agency rather than signing their at-home talent. And the at-home talent they seem to sign never produces after they get that deal, so they're probably soured on that. But Joe Douglas is an aggressive GM, so I could see him making the move for Jamal Adams to stay.
Okay, yeah. It'll be exciting, though.
They got young Sam Darnold, so not only do you need to keep him weapons on the offensive side, but you need to keep him a defense that can keep him in games.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're a young and up-and-coming team. Keep your players.
All right. Dak Prescott finally signs his franchise tender. He did not get the long-term extension he thought he was going to get to make him, one of the top highest-paid quarterbacks. But his franchise tender is over $31 million, so I think he's in like the top 5 or something like that.
$31 million?
Yeah, for 1 year.
Yeah, you can't complain for $31 million.
You can't, but I can also understand from his side of it. He wants the long-term deal because he can get the $31 million this year and then go the RG3 route and get hurt, and then now he's, stuck.
That is true. I mean, yeah, we can get all like angry at players, but it's like
it's their future.
You got to do what you got to do. You make that money before you get injured. I get it.
Yeah, so I do think that he will get a long-term deal. I don't see him going the Kirk Cousins route where he signs a couple of franchise tenders and then leaves in free agency. Dallas would be ridiculous if they let Dak Prescott walk. He is one of the best quarterbacks in the game. And he's young. They have him for cheap now, so it's now time to reward him, and
they offered him something, right?
Yeah, I don't remember the deal exactly they offered him. I want to say it was around I think it was either around 30 a year or 31, but he knew that he would get more if he took the tender. So that's one of the reasons why he went this way too.
Okay.
But they're Dallas, and I don't speak many good things about Dallas as a franchise.
Yeah.
The people they have running the front office are better than what they used to have. And so I could see, I definitely see him coming back. No issues.
Yeah.
Now, one kind of going on a little dimmer scale here, Dallas Goedert, the backup tight end. And,
I heard about this. Yeah.
The backup tight end in Philadelphia, got sucker punched at a bar and got hospitalized because of it. So you've heard about it. Have you seen the video of it?
No video. I didn't know there was a video.
Oh man, it is gruesome. Whenever I first heard this, I kind of had the same reaction you did. Like an NFL player got sucker punched. Oh, then you see the video and you're like, oh no, he got sucker punched and he got punched hard. Like it looked like he was involved in some altercation where it looked like either he was trying to separate people or he was trying to be separated, and somebody ran from off screen and just punched him right in the jaw and knocked him out. Like he went, like I was watching a UFC fight. Like he went stiff and just fell straight down. So
that person was off screen thinking, I'm gonna go gonna go knock out Dallas Goedert right now and tell everyone.
Right?
I feel like he had no stake in the fight. Probably he was just like,
I
here's my
have
chance.
I have no idea, but I hope that they figure out who it was and he, gets some legal repercussion, because NFL player or
Yeah,
not, like, you don't do that to someone.
for sure. Yeah, that's a no. I mean, that's a easy. If you take 3 seconds to think about it,
You're going to be like, maybe this isn't a good idea.
maybe I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the context of the situation, but unless someone's like about to kill you, you shouldn't really go out punching people.
Exactly.
Hey, I don't know how this works on the podcast, but do you want me to? I have the video I could watch real quick.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and watch it.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull it up right now. And this one I'm gonna dedicate to one of our fans, Alex. The what's his name?
What do you mean? Like,
What's his nickname? Doesn't he have a nickname that
oh,
he likes to go by?
Alex is his nickname.
Oh yeah, I guess. Okay, yeah. So his name is his nick.
Yeah,
Alex.
because his real name's Joe, so he goes by Alex.
Joe Alex. That's right. Well,
Yep.
Shout out to Joe Alex's video is for you. Here we go.
All right, so it's
this is the guy talking. Hang on.
oh,
Here we go.
so what we're seeing here is Zip pulled up the video on Twitter, and he's going to watch it real quick so we can get his live reaction.
Okay, so that's who I gotta look out for. That boy.
Yeah. Click.
How fascinating.
Right? See, whenever
he seems like he's kind
yeah,
of in a diffusing type of. Well, let's see. He's pushing someone away. He didn't seem too violent.
no, and it's like you said,
and then that guy just he just comes out of nowhere and sees him at the last second, and he gets him right in his.
Yeah, just right in the chin and just drops him. Like I said, whenever I first heard about it, my thought process was like, really? An NFL player gets knocked out? What is he doing fighting in a bar? Blah, blah, blah. He loses. He's going to hear about that. And then I saw the video, and I'm like, oh, no, he wasn't fighting anybody. I mean, maybe he was fighting somebody before the video got, posted. But from the video we saw, it was a straight-up sucker punch.
Yeah. He didn't seem like he had a lot of hostile energy flowing through him.
Now, I'm going to use this Dallas Goedert thing to flow right into our next topic, because I drafted Dallas Goedert in a recent dynasty draft we had, me and you.
I saw that happen.
And so we recently had a dynasty startup draft, and so we're just going to talk a little bit about how we feel about our teams and maybe a strategy we rolled into. So how did you feel about your overall team? What drafted pick did you have?
I had the fourth pick, I believe.
Okay. Who'd you take? Do you remember?
I took Hopkins, which was a shock to me. I was choosing between Elliott, obviously, some wild cards, like I really like Josh Jacobs, and I was interested in Joe Mixon, but I was like, that seems crazy to take them at 4.
Yeah.
So it's mainly between like Hopkins and Elliott, and it went down to the last second. And it was just like I just went with my brain chose without me thinking about it, and it happened to be Hopkins. And there was a bit of a moment where I was like, oh, I don't think that was the right choice. But you know what? I'm gonna roll with it. I got Kyler Murray to pair with him, so that seems fun.
That should be a good stack for a few years to come.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll get into Hopkins a bit more on why I'm high on him, but overall it's a typical draft of mine where I'm super strong on wide receiver and super weak on running back. I don't know why that always happens.
Well, dynasty, so the league we play 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, and then I believe 2 flex positions. Yeah. And so you have more receivers that can play, so that's probably why you end up heavier on receiver.
Yeah. I don't know. This time I ended up with 12 receivers and 6 running backs.
Well, that is pretty heavy. Well,
right.
Worst case scenario, you flip a couple. Get a couple draft picks, get a couple running backs, whatever you can do. I mean, it's only a 10-teamer, so a lot of the teams are pretty stacked. But
yeah, I'm excited either way.
So I had the 3rd pick in that draft, so I picked right in front of you, and I took Michael Thomas. And now my thought process behind that is he's a good young receiver. He put a record number up last year, and we'll talk about him later whenever we talk about our top 12 receivers. And then I made a trade beforehand that got me the 7th pick also. I traded my 2nd and 3rd pick for the 7th pick and his 6th round pick, or 5th round pick. And so I actually stacked Saints player, and I started the dynasty off with Thomas and Kamara. Now I feel really confident about that, especially because whenever the draft came back around to me in the 4th round, I got Aaron Jones again. And I'm not scared about A.J. Dillon with Aaron Jones. So I feel like I started, I lost those 2nd and 3rd round picks, and I still ended up with a pretty solid team.
For sure, yeah.
And
I mean, I feel like that the way that trade works is the fact that it's a completely new startup draft. I don't know. We're all going to end up with good players no matter what.
Yeah, and I wasn't about to trade any for that 7th pick and give up any capital for 2021 because dynasty draft, we have the rookies coming in, and I didn't want to start off counterbalanced without any people for 2021. So
yeah,
and with dynasty for me, I always go depending on if I had 1st or 2nd, I would take Saquon or Christian McCaffrey easily. But after it gets out of that, I'm looking for a receiver because receivers, they flash more in the NFL and in redraft, but they don't last as long in Dynasty. So that's why the receivers are always a little bit higher in the rankings with Dynasty.
I remember you telling me that. Ever since you told me that, it's made perfect sense.
That's why I believe last year after Antonio Brown left, Juju was the hottest pickup for Dynasty because he was only 20 or 21.
Oh, yeah. That's what made me pick him in my first Dynasty draft.
Yep.
Just because he was that young.
Yep, and he was good. So, but now we'll actually see if he's good without Antonio Brown this year. Hopefully, they have Big Ben the whole year. So yeah.
All right. For sure. Yeah.
All right. So now we're gonna take a quick little break, and then whenever we get back, we're gonna dive into our top 12 receivers and answer that fan question. All right.
I'm excited. Boy, am I excited.
All right. We'll be right back, guys. Welcome back, everybody. We are here with the Fantasy Football Burrito. I am joined again with my good friend, Scott Zipperman.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Scott Zipperman.
All right, we're going to go ahead.
It's great to be here.
We're going to go ahead and dive into our top 12 wide receivers. We're going to go back and forth, and we're going to discuss a little bit. I have some stats for some players, and I just have a feeling about the others. So we'll go ahead. I'll defer to you, Zip, since you're the guest. So who's your number 12?
I'm going to do number 12?
Yep.
Okay. For me, it's Mr. Tyler Boyd, Cincinnati Bengals.
Whoa, Tyler Boyd.
And I think this is a weird one. I'm not, this is not something I'm super excited about or confident. It just seems fun. Him being paired with the possibility of Joe Burrow, if he can come in and do even 50% of what he did in college, boy, that would be fun. That's exciting. High potential there, and that's why he's number 12 is because it's just potential. I don't really know how he's going to.
Well, one thing I will say for your argument with that is Boyd plays primarily in the slot and Burrow excels throwing in the slot. So as long as they can get Burrow some protection, I could see Boyd having a good year.
See? I knew you'd add stuff to it.
Yep. So number 12 for me is Tyler Lockett.
Oh, boy.
Tyler Lockett last year had 82 receptions and 1,057 yards and 8 touchdowns. And now he has steadily been an 1,000-yard receiver and over 5 to 6 touchdowns for the last 3 years. He's very underrated, and he's somebody I target if I go running back early. He's somebody I target either as my wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2 because I feel confident with him carrying my team at the wide receiver position.
I like it. You're going to be surprised by something later on for me.
Okay. Okay.
But very good. That's a very good pick. He's not on my list, but I feel bad for that because he should be.
See, I told you he's very underrated.
He is.
All right.
Okay, so it's number 11 for me.
Yep.
And this one's got some bias behind it because he was a true champ for me last year. He's a good key reason why I even got to the playoffs.
Okay.
Kenny Galladay for the Detroit Lions.
Kenny Galladay, I like it.
Yeah. And he if Matthew Stafford can stay healthy, the sky is the limit with these two.
Yeah.
We saw glimpses of it. And even when Stafford went down, he still, he somehow always pulled out a touchdown at the very end of the game or something.
Yeah.
He is playing for us,
Remember, I believe it was the Thanksgiving game. He was starting with Driscoll as the quarterback, and one of the first or second, I think it was the first drive of the game, he caught a 50-yard bomb. So he produces whoever
he gets
the quarterback
that big chunk once, at least every game.
They call him Babytron for a reason, he's Baby Megatron.
I remember that when that touchdown happened, you and Alex, you texted me, and all it was like Galladay. The fear is, oh God, he got injured.
Yep.
But no, it was that 50-yard touchdown, and good memory.
Good memories. All right, so number 11 for me is DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
DJ
Ooh,
Moore.
I love it because both of your players are not on my top 10, 12.
Wow. Moore last year, remember, he played a lot of the year with Kyle Allen and even with Will Greer. He had 87 receptions and 1,175 yards and 4 touchdowns. So what you want to see is that touchdown number going up. I'm not sure if the yards are going to go up. They might stay about the same coming in with Teddy Bridgewater being the quarterback, but I would see the reception staying about the same too. So hopefully he can just get in the end zone more, become more of a red zone threat, or at least get some more flash plays, and he can score a little bit more. So I feel comfortable putting him at 11 because I wouldn't mind him being one of my top receivers for my team, but I'm not going into the second or third round targeting DJ Moore.
Yeah.
I love
Solid.
him for Dynasty. I do love him for Dynasty.
Great for Dynasty and just swell for redraft.
Yep. All right, so let's see your number 10.
Okay, number 10. Well, he would probably be much higher if the quarterback situation was a little bit more known or predictable. But it's Scary Terry.
McLaren, okay.
I got him at 10. Is that low or high compared to you? What do you think?
He's not in my top 12. I believe he'd be a high-end wide receiver 2 for me. He'd be probably like, if I was ranking my whole list, if I had it in front of me, I bet you he's like around like 18, 19 range. Because
that's nice.
It is that quarterback thing that you're scared of, but at the same time, he has all the tools to produce. I could see him. I don't see him taking a sophomore slump.
I don't clearly don't either. I think he's going to have a sophomore hump.
Sophomore bump.
Bump, yep. And if you hear all the news and videos of them working out together, and I keep hearing about how what's his name, Haskins has slimmed up and really beefed up or whatever, and so the imagination, you think, what are the possibilities?
And they were teammates in college.
Right. Oh, see, also that. So, the possibilities are just so enticing.
Yeah.
And that's why he's at 10 for me.
All right. Number 10 for me is Mike Evans.
Ooh, solid.
Mike Evans, he played only 13 games last year before he got just a brutal injury, but he was still over 1,000 yards and had 8 touchdowns. I think he got injured on like a game that he was just completely beasting too. With Tom Brady coming in, I don't see him having an issue getting the ball to Evans because I think I could throw the ball to Evans. He's like 6'5" and just pure muscle. So that's number 10 for me.
That's a good one. We'll see where he lands on mine. But I like the placement.
Okay.
Number 9 for me is DK Metcalf.
Oh.
And I guess this probably would be higher in Dynasty-ish, but I'm going to go with it because I am just so intrigued by this man, this receiver. He impressed me every time I watched any highlights from last year, and I think he's going to be all over the place. And it's probably, if I had to be honest, Locke is probably the more consistent of the two, but the potential, as you can tell, I'm all about just like, I would hate to not have this person be beast the way I imagine he will beast.
Well, one of the main things with fantasy football is draft the players you're going to have fun with. Don't just draft the players because you're like, oh, he's good, I'll put him on my team. If you don't have fun watching that player and watching him score, then don't put him on your team. Get excited.
It's no fun to just pick the highest rated player every pick.
Exactly.
That's what I try to avoid, and sometimes it gets me in trouble because sometimes you got to take that top pick, but it's a balancing act, and I don't know, that he seems perfect for the way Russell plays, and I am excited to see what magic happens down in Seattle.
So to add to the DK talk, he coming out of college, all it was he got all his yards off of 2 routes, either the go route or the curl route. He definitely evolved as a route runner last year as a rookie, so I'm excited to see what he can do with another year of development, another year with Russell. I'm hoping he can become more of a full receiver because with that body type he has and the way he plays the game, if he can round out his game, he will be a force in the NFL. And I am a big Seahawk fan, so I'm hoping for it.
And a man with a body like that shows dedication to his craft. He's always evolving. And
Thanks.
so I just feel like every year he's going to get better and better.
All right. So number 9 for me is Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson, damn, that's a good one. I don't have him, so I love it.
Yeah, even with Trubisky, and I don't think Trubisky's going to be the quarterback this year. I think it's going to be Foles, and Foles is a better all-around quarterback. He had 98 receptions last year. He had 7 touchdowns. He was a 1,000-yard receiver. I don't see that going down. I don't think it was a fluke. Whenever he gets on the field, most of the time he's the best receiver every time he's the best receiver on that offense. He's
for sure, and that's with crappy Trubisky, which let me just ask you your professional opinion. What's up with that man? How come he can't figure it out?
I just don't think he was developed enough coming out of college, and then they switched coaches, and I don't think the coach really. I think Nagy gave him a condensed offense his first year. Whenever he was doing pretty good,
Yeah.
And then last year they tried opening up the playbook, and I just don't think he was ready.
He was not okay. Something's not working down there.
All right, so go ahead. Let's hear your number
8.
Yeah,
and I looked at this after number 9 was over, and I realized it's almost like the same identical reasons to why DK Metcalf, but I guess I have him higher than DK Metcalf. It's AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. Okay.
I was looking at his stats near the end of the season last year, and they were pretty insane. He was like consistently getting 20 or something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he was good. He was good down the line last year.
And Tannehill is rewarded with the contract, so hopefully he doesn't get complacent in that. But they knocked off the Patriots and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're like this up and coming team. Relatively new coach, and they have the confidence now. So AJ Brown, he seems just in the same way that DK Metcalf does. He just seems like a monster, a beast, a guy who can just do it all.
Yeah, sky's the limit with his potential. Sky's the limit.
He's a young, hip, fast man, and I can't wait to see what he does. AJ Brown, number 8.
So number 8 for me is actually your number 11, Kenny Galladay.
Ooh, I love it.
Pretty much for all the reasons we already talked about. We already touched on Galladay. He can do it with any quarterback. He was a 1,000-yard receiver last year. He caught 11 touchdowns, so maybe see that number go down a little bit because copying double-digit touchdowns is not very easy. But I could see him being over 7 touchdowns a year. And I could see if Stafford stays healthy, his stats will even be better than what they were last year.
Yeah, if there's that consistency, it'll be spread out all throughout the season, relatively even. I feel like.
Yep. Okay, so go with your number 7.
Number 7 is Julio Jones.
Julio.
Yeah.
7's a little low for Julio. I want to hear your reasoning.
I don't know why. I guess that's probably why. It's like I was looking over this list, and I knew Julio had to be on it. And I know his potential, how great he is, and he'll do good no matter what. But I don't know. I guess it's mostly a gut feeling of just like these next ones. I just think are gonna all be
better.
Maybe better. Hopefully,
okay.
I don't know. Yeah. So Julio, we know what you're gonna get with Julio, and hopefully, he was kind of injured last season, right? Or when did he have that foot problem? I just don't
he
remember.
Always has a foot problem. That's the thing.
Okay, yeah. So because of that foot problem, he's at number 7.
Okay, number 7 for me is Keenan Allen, the man we were just talking about.
Yeah.
He's one of the best route runners of the in the game. He catches the ball, like if it's in his direction, he generally catches it. The only thing I could see is maybe with Tyrod or Herbert taking over, he might have a little downfall. But at the same time, with his skill set, I'm comfortable taking him as the number 7 receiver.
And that's honorable for sure. I didn't have him on my list because of the quarterback situation.
Okay.
But he definitely deserves to be in the conversation.
All right, so go with number 6.
Number 6 is a Cowboy, and I put Amari Cooper here.
Oh wow, he's not even on my list.
See, isn't it fun? And I don't know. I just this is one of those ones I just did it again. So I'm drawing a blank on why I would even have him here.
Well, I'm going to tell you why I don't have him in my 12 then.
And this will jog my memory probably.
I think Michael Gallup took a big step last year without Amari producing. And so I just see him coming into another year with that offense. And I think Gallup will be really good. And then drafting of CeeDee Lamb. My thought process is Amari's going to draw the doubles and stuff, and those other two receivers are going to get open. So I just don't see a big year coming for Amari.
That's very accurate. I could agree with that. And on the flip side, I could see how the emergence of these two wide receivers, everything's going to click on that offense. Watch. And no one's going to be able to cover anyone, and Cooper will feast here and there.
Sure.
That's going to be an exciting offense to watch regardless.
So another podcast I listened to, they had a great analogy for Amari Cooper. He's like a family road trip. The road trip is the season. That's the destination. And whenever you're on a road trip with your family, you usually are miserable. You have some good fun moments whenever you guys stop to do something or, play a game and whatnot. Those are his big games. And at the end, but for the most part, it's just miserable. You're just like, oh my gosh, come on.
Yeah.
And then you get to the destination and he's a top 12 receiver. And you're like, where was he a top 12 receiver?
See, and that's accurate of the past, and I think it's going to be more of a road trip when you're an adult, where it's consistently good throughout all the season.
Okay.
The season.
All
So,
right.
yeah, expect Cooper to get you 15 points guaranteed no matter what every game.
That's a zip guarantee, huh?
That's a zip guarantee. At number 6, I've got Amari Cooper.
All right, number 6 for me is the man who came out of nowhere last year, Chris Godwin.
Who?
Chris Godwin.
Oh, yeah.
He he had 1,300 yards last year with 9 touchdowns. It seemed like every week he was putting up numbers, and he just didn't slow down last year. With Tom Brady coming in, you might not get as many big plays, but you're going to get just as many receptions, and you're going to get definitely over another 1,000-yard season. So I'm a big fan of Chris Godwin coming in.
And how can you not be?
Yep.
And that's, you could, so at 5 for me, we're on 5 now, right?
Yep.
I cheated, and I just put Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Oh, okay. So you had 5A, 5B?
They both seem so interchangeable to me, and so they do different things, but I'm excited to see that happen with Tom Brady as the QB.
Okay.
So, I didn't know which one to choose, and that might be, it's cheating,
hey,
for
it works.
sure. But hey, pick one of them, get one of them at least, and see how it goes. I pretty much agree with everything you said on those two players.
So 5 for me is DeAndre Hopkins. He would be higher if he wasn't going to a new system with a second-year quarterback, but he's still so talented. I have to keep him in. The system is so wide receiver friendly that I had to keep him in the top 5. So Nuke Hopkins is my number 5 receiver.
That's great. I love it. Hopkins is top 5 no matter what.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, if you ever watch Draft Day, Vontae Mack no matter what. It's DeAndre Hopkins top 5 no matter what.
Yep. Okay, so we're on to
4. Yep.
4. This one is Tyreke Hill for me, and it's really simple. You just got it. It's that Chiefs offense. I had him last year, and when he wasn't injured, he was my most consistent player. Yeah. I would say he guaranteed me at least a touchdown.
Easily
points, and so because of that, I got him at 4. And I mean, you just get as many shares of that Chiefs offense as you can. And Hill is the biggest of what you can get.
Number 4 for me is Julio Jones. Like I said, last year he had 99 receptions, 1,394 yards, and 6 touchdowns. He's proven he can catch touchdowns now. There's that year or two ago he was only catching like 1 or 2 touchdowns. He has since then got over 5 the last 2 years, I believe. Matt Ryan's still slinging the ball. That offense still has Calvin Ridley on the other side, take a little pressure off, but it's still Julio, so you have to focal your defense against him. But he's going to catch the ball no matter what. And so I'm not scared of the foot issue. Julio Jones is my number 4.
Yeah, Julio. He's like consistent all the time, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Julio Jones. Number 3 for me is another a younger version of Julio Jones, Davante Adams. Consistent. His last year was kind of up and down, if I
He
remember
only played
correctly.
12 games last year.
Yeah, that'll do it. But before that, this guy was good. He would score 20 points almost guaranteed every
Yeah.
game. And another, they're in that. How long has that coach been there?
This
2,
is
3
going to be
years.
his second year, I believe. Yeah.
Second year, yeah. So that's all to his benefit, and hopefully he's healthy. Rodgers is getting old. He wants that. I'm sure he wants to win a Super Bowl
Oh, yeah.
last time. I feel like Green Bay is going to be motivated this year. So get Adams if you can. Obviously, number 3, hot dog.
So number 3 for me is Tyreke Hill. For all the reasons you laid out, he's consistent. He's a deep threat. Get a piece of that Chiefs offense. Tyreke Hill, if he plays a full season and Mahomes plays a full season, he's unstoppable. Tyreke Hill, his rookie year, whenever he came out of nowhere, he won me a championship. I love me some Tyreke Hill.
Oh yeah, he is the closest I feel like to anyone on this list that is closest to unstoppable that you can get as a human being. You just never know when
he
it's
gets the ball
happen.
in his hand. Good luck tackling him. Like if you let him get to that second gear, he's gone.
I love it. We love it. We love our Hill here on the fantasy burrito. He is a main component to the burrito. Number 2 is Michael Thomas. For every reason that everyone already knows. He's playing with Drew Brees. Drew Brees is getting old. That team is set for a Super Bowl run. Things can just go. They should only go higher for him. He is the new consistent Mr. Consistent, I would say, for wide receivers. He's taken that crown, and he's young and he's ready to, I'm sure, probably want to do more and more better things, and he can with the talent that he has around.
Well, I'm just going to throw my number 2 in here then, because my number 2 is also Michael Thomas. The man had a record-setting year last year. He broke the most catches in a single season. He had 1,700 yards and 9 touchdowns. He's got another year of Drew Brees, and the only reason why he's not my number 1 is I think with a full season, my number 1 is going to have a better year.
So your number 1 has to be Davante Adams.
It is.
Then. Wow. Okay, I love the shocker. I thought Michael Thomas was going to be your number.
Nope. I think Davante. Here, I'll just go right into my number 1. Davante Adams in only 12 games had 83 receptions, 997 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And I want to say he came back early and was used more of a decoy whenever he was first coming back. So with Aaron Rodgers coming back, and they did nothing to help that offense with more weapons. So Davante Adams and Aaron Jones are the weapons for that offense. I want me some Davante Adams. That's all I have to say.
And that's all you need to say.
All right, let's hear your number 1. It has Hopkins.
My number 1 is it has to be Hopkins, because he's definitely in the list. It's DeAndre Hopkins for almost the exact reasons you laid out for why he was number. What was he number for
Hopkins
you?
was number
7.
Or no, he was number 5 for me.
Number 5. Why did I write 7? Anyways, I love the enticing nature of second-year quarterback Kyler Murray in that second-year offense by an offensive guru, wannabe man. We got Hopkins, and this is the real motivation for him being number 1 is him getting traded for pretty much potatoes.
Yeah.
David Johnson. It's kind of a slap to his ego, maybe even, and his actual talent, which is incredible. He's going to a fresh new city, and he's going to want to prove everyone, mainly in Houston,
and that
what a mistake that was. And I know he's like a dedicated person, so him going to a new city isn't going to, I don't think, based off the character I've created in my head.
He has great character.
I don't think he's going to, it's not going to derail him in any way. Like I feel like he's going to this is the year, I think it was, I don't remember what year it was, but I remember I saw like he had, one of his goals was to not drop a pass, a catch, and not drop a catch.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think he had a drop in his first game that year, but that's the kind of dedication he has, and I feel like this could be the year he does it. And for that reason, Hopkins is my number 1.
Well, if he doesn't want to drop any passes, he's going to the right place because he's playing with Larry Fitzgerald now. And there's a crazy stat going around that Larry Fitzgerald has more career tackles than he does drop passes.
That's incredible.
So, Hopkins is in a great system with Cliff Kingsbury and that air raid, that modified air raid to fit the NFL. So I could see Hopkins having a big year. The Seahawk fan in me doesn't want him to have a good year, but I mean he's a fantasy commodity.
Sure.
You have to get yourself DeAndre Hopkins if he's there for you. He's one of the
Yeah,
few. I mean, even though he's number 5 on mine, if I wouldn't mind taking him number 1. Like if I had the 12th pick in the first round, or even like to like the 7th pick, I wouldn't mind taking Hopkins.
for sure. In that like range, it's almost a
Yeah.
given.
Okay, so that rounds out our top 12. Go ahead and get me on Twitter, guys, at Dirt Shingles. Tell me what you think. Maybe I'll tweet out a picture of them. I wrote them all down.
Wait. Are we
We're gonna
finishing
do a
up?
fan question, then we're gonna finish up.
Okay. I just want to make sure we didn't lose sight
No,
of the
I have it
fan.
written down here. I have my rundown sitting in front of me. I'm just going down the list.
I'm sorry. I should have had more faith in you as a host.
So the fan question is, what is the impact of the Debo Samuel injury, and is there any receivers on that team, the 49ers, that is willing to draft late in a redraft league? I'll kick it to you to start.
That's a fun question. One I'm thinking of right now, and well, it probably changes things. I think maybe the next person who can maybe do the closest thing that Debo does is
Yeah.
Jalen Hurd. And he's a question mark. Maybe he gets used in that role in some way. I imagine probably a smaller scale, but that team's always been a run team first these last couple of years, and so I feel like this probably makes that more the way they go. But they got the rookie Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah,
How do you
Brandon
say that
Ayuk.
name? This could open things for him. But obviously it helps Kittle. He'll
Yep.
still feast, and maybe more. So my answer is it helps the run game. Focus go to that, and Kittle doing good things, and maybe a Jalen Hurd
Would you
surprise.
draft Jalen Hurd late in a redraft league, or would you let him? Oh,
Yeah, late for sure.
okay.
Why not? Probably in the double
Yeah. I
digits,
mean, like last
but
bench spot kind of thing.
yeah, for sure. I would. Why not? At that point, it's
Those
all
are the first people you're
dart throw.
dropping, anyways. Whenever somebody else comes open.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember one year I took Trent Taylor. So if I took him once, I can take
It's
Jalen
true.
Hurd.
For me, the only receiver worth drafting on the Niners is Debo Samuel. It's a Jones fracture, which if he,
Now you're talking
well,
high,
I'm just
right?
saying in general. I'm not
Or
drafting.
at
I'm not
all?
touching another receiver on the Niners in a redraft league, other
That's
than Debo
fair.
Samuel.
Yeah, you're right. Definitely in Dynasty. I keep thinking Dynasty
Yeah.
because that's what I've been
Yep.
playing. But so take that with a grain of salt, everyone.
He's out for 3 to 4 months. He already had surgery. I don't know if I saw it was successful, but since I haven't heard anything, I imagine it was. It's a Jones fracture, which, if I remember correctly, it's the top of the foot is what got broken. The only issue with that is if you don't rehab properly, and I'm not a medical doctor. Let me just put that disclaimer out there. I'm just going from what I've seen from past players who have had it.
Wait, you're
I'm
not?
not Dr. Shingleberry. I'm Dirt Shingleberry.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was close.
Is they try to come back too soon. They try to do the IR to return, and then they end up getting hurt again. I think that Greg Olsen did something like that. I can't remember any, like, off the top of my head. I was trying to research it, but it's hard to find injuries from past players without knowing their names.
Yeah.
But as long as he rehabs for these 3 to 4 months, and he might miss training camp, might miss preseason. I could even see him maybe missing the first game or two just to make sure he's 100%. But as long as he comes back 100%, Debo Samuel is the only receiver I would draft on the Niners. And I don't think it's going to affect their game plan much as a team, because they are a run-first team. And the receivers that they'll throw to will step up in that time. But I just don't think it'll be as consistent enough to making it worth rostering any of them. And
So let me ask you this: at round 13, you don't take
no,
Jalen Hurd?
no.
I can't wait for our draft. I'm gonna watch
Because I
it.
would say around round 13, I would imagine like I'm saying in our league, because people in our league don't always draft the best, but I would imagine like a Slayton might be there, Shepard, just some of those set.
I would take Slayton over Hurd, but Hurd over
Really,
Shepard.
see, I like Jalen Hurd, but from what I hear, what I've read is he's more going to be used as like a move type player. He's going to be playing some on the backfield. He's going to be going in the slot, going on the outside. So he might get like, some yards, maybe a touchdown, but I don't think it's going to be as consistent.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those zip surprises. It's probably going to be bad, But if it's fun and good,
Yeah,
then
I
it's
would take
fun
him
and
in
good.
Dynasty. I have no issue with that. I do like Jalen
Yeah.
Hurd. But all right, so thank you, Garrett from Portland, for that great question. You gave us a good little conversation about that. And if you guys have any other questions, like I said, tweet me at Dirt Shingleberry. You can even hashtag it, hashtag Ask Dirt. I check that pretty often to see if I have any questions. But that about wraps it up. So thank you for joining me today, Zip. It was a pleasure.
Oh, absolutely, Dirt. And I just wanted to say one last thing. Do you remember when we were children, Super Bowl, Madden? You and I were facing each other, and you were up by a touchdown. I score a
Yeah,
touchdown, right?
yeah,
Tie the game. Or not really. I have to kick the
yeah,
extra point. Do you remember where
yeah.
this
I
is
know
going?
exactly where it's going.
Yeah, I messed up the extra point, which is kind of like impossible to do in Madden, right? It's like one of the easiest things
Yep.
back then. I
You
lost by a
lost the Super
point.
Bowl by a point with no time on the clock.
Yep. I thought of that today at work, and I just was like, I got to bring
Uh,
this up
oh
on the
yeah,
podcast.
we had
Just
some legendary Madden games down there in my basement back in the day.
oh
I
yeah,
remember one time I got so
I did
mad I
it.
started kicking my foosball table.
Oh yeah, yeah, Dirt throws. So bring a helmet when you
I
play
don't
him in that.
anymore because whenever I a few years ago
That's
before I
true.
bought my house, I was renting a house and I got so mad playing NCAA football 14. I was rebuilding the Cal Golden Bears for some reason, and I was playing number one Ohio State, and I
Oh
was
no.
up by one touchdown with like 3 minutes to go, and I was trying to run out the clock and had to throw a crucial third down, like third and long, and I threw a pick six and lost the game. And I threw my controller as hard as I could against the wall, broke my controller, and put a hole in the wall. So I no longer throw controllers. I no longer have. I am at a complete zen that it's just a game. I might get upset, I might cuss a little, but I no longer throw.
That's a beautiful story, and I love the
Yes,
evolution.
yes,
You found out how strong you were, and you were like, I gotta check this.
exactly. Now the only thing I probably get mad enough to throw something out is if I lose like the fantasy football championship by 1 point.
Yeah, and that's different because we got money on the line, and we want to
Exactly.
win.
I want that
We want the
championship belt. Yep.
championship belt. Oh, I want it too. Fancy Green Kings are coming
All right.
for it.
Well, not if the Forest Dragons have anything to say about it.
Oh, they Fancy Green does.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me. All right, everybody, have a great day and happy late Father's Day. Thank you.